Influencers are quitting. People, what up? What's good, man? It's your boy TwoCentz. First and foremost, y'all, thank you guys for 100 subs on this YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate you guys. Now, speaking of sub count, man, we got an interesting topic, y'all. A lot of people are quitting the YouTube, quitting the Instagram, the TikToks, man, and going back to work. Now, before we get started, man, we got a very interesting topic, bro. I did a little bit of research, right? I'm saying we got a tab open. Only about 1 to 6% of all YouTube channels get monetized, you know. So I feel like a lot of people have the idea, right? You see Kai Cenat or whoever it may be talking about, oh, I made $1 million this month off of my YouTube or my Twitch or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's so easy. I can just start and log in and stream 2 times and the money would be like, it's not like that, bro. It's not like that, man. This is my second YouTube channel, so I kind of know how the game goes. It took me like 7 months posting daily to even get monetized on my first one, bro. But man, apparently Zach V2 gonna be breaking it down. I've been yapping a lot. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's get started, bro.
I quit being an influencer this year officially.
Let's talk about why I decided to return to a 9-to-5 job after being a full.
And here's the thing, bro. I feel like there's the idea that you have to drop everything that you're doing to pursue your dreams. No. Right? Like, you can work on your TikTok or work on your YouTube, whatever it is, while you're still doing your 9 to 5. Or maybe it's not a 9 to 5 and you got a part-time schedule, bro. Or you know what I'm saying? You working part-time, you at school, right? Like, you don't have to drop everything that you're doing, but you do have to put in the extra work on the side if you want your other avenues, right? Whether that be TikTok, YouTube, or even, you know what I'm saying, business ventures outside of social media to get to work, bro. I don't, where did this idea that I have to give up everything and focus all in? That's just not a good mindset, bro. Like, you can do more than one thing. You know what I'm saying?
Time digital content creator.
The Wall Street Journal just published an expose on how much influencers make, and it's not much.
So today we're going to be going over a topic recommended from one of you guys. Please make more of these influencer quitting videos. It's very informative and gives more perspective behind the scenes beyond what these influencers show you. I know that this is the new dream job for many right now, but people are starting to realize that you can't just upload a few videos or posts and expect to just start rolling in the money now. And if you do get to that level, it doesn't mean that the money's going to be consistent or stable for the rest of your life.
Because like I said, man, and probably gonna break it down as well. Only 1 to 6% get monetized, right? Let's just use YouTube. Of the YouTubers, bro, of that 1 to 6% of everybody with an account, how many people do you think are making part-time income? How many people do you think are making full-time? And then how many you think you're making, you know what I'm saying, 100K, millionaires? Like, the percentage gets lower and lower for the, you know what I'm saying? So don't get the wrong idea, bro. Like, it's not simple, bro. It's simple. It's not easy. How about that?
Life. So we're going to be looking at many examples today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's just start off with this clip.
This is my story of why I decided to quit being a full-time influencer after a year and get a job in corporate America. So reason number 1 why I decided to not be a full-time influencer anymore is honestly money. This came down to stability and my long-term goals, and I felt like I could just reach those financial goals quicker if I wasn't an influencer. I also may have jumped into being a full-time influencer sooner than I wanted to, and I had to bust my ass to honestly make as much money as I wanted to every month. I was taking on, I'm not even joking, like 12 sponsorships a month just to make ends meet.
Why are you looking at me like that, bro? Wait, hold on, y'all. I'm listening, but just look at his face, man.
Joking, like 12 sponsorships a month just to make ends meet, and that was just not the vibe for me. So how many sponsorships do I need to take every single month? Am I willing to do that? And what happens if I don't get that many sponsorships. And I did have multiple streams of income. I was doing Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I had Google AdSense from YouTube. I had my Like to Know It, and my affiliate links were starting to do really well. So even though I had multiple streams of income, sponsorships were without a doubt like 80% of my income. So if I wasn't getting brand sponsorships, things were rough.
Okay, so I think you know my stance with sponsorships, but especially with the influencer types that don't really have a niche other than just showing their lives. That's really the only way that they can make money, is to just shill out products from other companies. And even though you've probably heard deals with massive YouTubers and huge TikTokers for thousands, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's not easy to obtain.
No.
So in the end, your content just turns into infomercials on whatever product you're sponsored by. She said she had to do 10 or 12 of them a month just to be able to get by too. It's not like she was making a ton of money. And even with corporate America and the job market not doing too well right now, if you can land a job, that income is much more stable than anything you see on social media.
Facts. And again, that's why I say, bro, you don't have to dive all the way in, bro. Like, you can do the YouTube, do this stuff on the side while you're working your main job, bro. If you really want to succeed, you know what I'm saying? It's like that just makes sense to me. That's kind of what I've been doing as long as I've been on YouTube, man. Apparently that's not and like I said, bro, I've only reached like a small level of success on my main channel, but apparently that's not the common thought process.
Let's talk about why I decided to return to a 9-to-5 job after being a full-time digital content creator. So I recently moved back to...
And my fault, y'all. I know I'm talking a lot, but I really invested, got a lot to say about this topic, bro. But the people who begin the $10,000+ sponsorships, again, those are the people who are already making the, you know what I'm saying, the 100Ks, the millions of month off of YouTube. So, you know, you really, it's really not something that you could just jump in, like I said, and just instantly succeed, bro. It take a lot of work, man. Take a lot of effort and a lot of resilience, for sure.
The US after living abroad in London for 4.5 years, and while I was there, I was a full-time YouTuber. So I was vlogging about my life abroad and uploading pretty much weekly. Living abroad was an amazing experience, y'all, but after a while, I started to realize, like, I can't talk about this forever. I was starting to feel a bit bored and burnt out from sharing my day-to-day life because not every day was super interesting, and I started to feel like I was living to make content, you know, like everything had to be content.
Okay, so a couple things here. The situation's a little bit different than the first. This person did have a niche. However, it was too small of a niche, I would say. She was living abroad and it's fun and exciting. You can make videos and posts, but as she said, eventually you just kind of get bored and tired of it because not every day is going to be the coolest day on the planet.
Right.
And especially if you're known for that type of content, like living in a specific city, you're kind of stuck because that's all people want to see out of you. She also talked about the same thing as the first clip, of course, the lack of stability, and also talking about benefits that you would get from a normal 9-to-5 insurance. And I think a comment from one of you guys goes very well with this clip. The reason that girl ran out of new exciting things to post and others don't is that they just lie. They just create fake scenarios and make videos about it. That's why she shouldn't figure out why she ran out of things to do. I mean, there's a whole host of TikTokers who just make completely fake stories up, fake relationship issues, first dates, just in the eyes of entertainment.
I'm gonna say this, bro. I don't feel like if you're burning out, it means you're lying or you're not enjoying your content, bro. Like I said, man, I'm just taking from my own experience, bro. I got my Marvel Snap YouTube channel, right? I've been playing Marvel Snap for like 2.5 years, man. You know, you can get tired of doing something over and over and over again, and that's kind of the reason why I made like this reaction channel, because we have the freedom to do. Talk about whatever videos we want, right? Eventually I can start doing my own commentary, mixing that in with the reactions on this channel. And it's like, you know, I just wanted to like disagree with that. Like, sure, maybe in the vlogging area world of content, it might be different. Like, people might just be capping and you know what I'm saying, making up stories and all that on how the game is. But, just because you're not enjoying your content after a while, or you're starting to get burnt out, doesn't mean that you know what I'm saying, you don't like it or that everything is fake, right? Just wanted to point that out.
So why wouldn't people do that for vlogs? And adding on to trying to make everything in your life interesting every day, if you watched Casey Neistat back in the day, I believe he made a daily vlog for around 800 days and he ended up stopping. This is somebody who is a professional filmmaker, knew what people wanted to see, and it almost cost him his marriage. He was so burnt out. He basically doesn't really make videos anymore. Once in a while he'll upload something. So if you do end up picking this type of niche, it probably won't go on forever. We have a set of screenshots here, why I quit influencing, the beauty marketing, so happy I did. First thing,
But I also want to say this, bro, like, and again, man, like, I know people who used to do vlogs, like Timothy De La Ghetto, I don't know if you heard him, but he like transitioned into doing like podcasts and food reviews. So, I mean, sure, you know, the views or the money might not be looking the same as when he got popping off doing the vlogs. But, like, at the end of the day, if you enjoy something and you want to make videos about it, like, you can, and you can always just transition into another thing. Sure, it might be at the cost of, like, your immediate success, but as long as, you know what I'm saying, if it gives you another reason to make videos, right, or content, like, why not do that? Especially if you're not all in, bro. Like, especially if you're making videos on the side of your job, on the side of your education, right? And not just doing it strictly to make a living, bro, because it, like I said, it's just not a wise thing to do. I'm gonna keep reiterating that. Hopefully somebody listens and understands.
Consumerism and selling products, a lifestyle that I didn't fully believe in. Now, every time I hear something similar from an influencer who quit, they kind of say the exact same thing like this: I'm so unbelievably grateful for every opportunity and love every brand I've gotten to work with, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we get it. But especially if you do the beauty influencing, that's all everybody cares about. The newest product from this company, and here's a get ready with me, and here's the link in the description for it, as everything just slowly increases in price. I mean, if you ever walk around Sephora, it is insanely expensive for how little product you actually get. And your job is to sell it to everybody who's watching. No one talks about the vanity. All your content is around you. Kind of seemed like that was pretty straightforward to me, but I felt so narcissistic creating content about me 24/7. Looks and self-image become far more important than intelligence and inner beauty. Again, I kind of thought that was a given if you're in the beauty niche. This industry is brutal.
But I will say it's also interesting, you know what I'm saying, what he's talking about and what these, like, you know what I'm saying, the beauty influencers and like these vloggers, because I don't really watch that type of content, so I don't really know how it is, you know, but it's interesting to hear what she's talking about and how he's commentating, right?
No one will tell you how awful many of these beauty influencers are. A lot of them have gotten exposed for it as well, and people still watch. Fear of losing relevance, keeping up with the trends, beauty fads, just constantly having to sell the newest product to your viewers. Personality splitting and self-censorship. You have less privacy, fear of making mistakes in the public eye. It's like being under a microscope. You're always being watched. The larger you get, the more people know who you are. And the last one, going viral, changed my life, but also didn't. Everyone wants to go viral, but no one tells you what happens after. You get a high you can't explain. I've talked about this many times. Getting attention online is basically like a drug, and if your video just explodes and gets millions or tens of millions of views, it's pretty unlikely for that to happen again. Right. So you'll be chasing that high from now on.
Why do I feel low-key nervous to post?
And again, that's another reason why people are quitting too, because they never go viral. They never get that high, man. And you know, if you've been putting in work for the longest, right, and then finally you go viral one time, or one of your videos does significantly better than all the others, then you know, it's not I want to say you don't get that like drug feeling like you need to do it again, because you already kind of understand that, oh yeah, this video did way better. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, a lot more people were just interested in this topic, or maybe my thumbnail was just so much better on this one. And then, you know, you can just kind of keep it moving, right? So, man, I feel like the whole thing is, bro, you just gotta lower your expectations and move smarter. Feel me?
let's talk about why I'm quitting being a full-time influencer. For context, I've been full-time with lifestyle content here and on Instagram for about a year now. I'll also say it's been going really well lately. I've had awesome brand deals and I've been making more than I made at like any of my previous jobs ever in my life.
Okay, I just wanted to put this short clip in to add on to this just being another vessel to sell you products, because this person had similar issues compared to the last, having to talk about yourself 24/7, of course, because you're a lifestyle and beauty influencer. There's nobody else but you, and then talking about and trying to sell all of those products from sponsorships. I thought it was interesting in this comment section, the top comment, I quit being a full-time influencer and I honestly don't know how I feel about it. I make way less money, but I hated how scamish my content felt. So this person had 300,000 followers before she stopped, but her saying that she knew how scammy her content was, I think is very interesting. I feel like everybody has to hide it when it comes to the TikTok shop sellers, because the amount of low quality Temu level products people are trying to sell you, they're straight up lying to you just so you buy the product. And it seems like this ex-influencer couldn't handle that anymore. But we have another comment from one of you guys. If you manage your money right and know how to invest and save, you could turn your influencing career into something that you can build on. Unfortunately, a lot of these people spend their money showing off their lifestyle, and when they inevitably become irrelevant, they are broke. Everybody likes to think that if they do start getting insane numbers, that they're just going to get the same amount of attention for the next decade or two. And that's just not how the internet works. I mean, you could go in and out of popularity within months or even weeks. I mean, there's a ton of stories of big YouTubers making millions of dollars and now they're broke. Jason Nash, right off the top of my head, is one of them. And solely relying on money that's coming from Google AdSense or the TikTok shop can be very dangerous because you are not in control at all.
TikTok is still...
But I really like how he's breaking it down as well, man. And I hope, cause like we going into a different time. Like a lot of kids are saying they want to be content creators. So I don't know if the education system will ever change and there's like a social media 101 type class. But I feel like what he's saying, man, is especially good for, you know what I'm saying, the younger or the aspiring children, or even, you know what I'm saying, people that are older, that, like I said, man, everything is not sunshine and rainbows, and it's not as easy or sustainable or, as it might seem, right? So I feel like this is a very helpful video, bro.
Screwing me over financially. Several weeks ago, I noticed that many of my videos were...
And y'all know I ain't tapped in with the beauty influencers, man. We ain't got no makeup on, so I don't know the makeup niche, right?
no longer making me any money whatsoever through the Creator Fund. And on June 14th, I looked into it and found out that I had, in fact, been disqualified from the Creator Fund. Why, you might ask? The reason that TikTok gave me for removing me from the Creator Fund was that they identified my account as a business account. This all came as news to me, but I appealed the decision, and then I switched my account back from a business account to a personal account, which I thought would just solve the problem outright, but I was wrong.
Okay, so I've heard a wide variety of issues when it comes to the Creator Fund on TikTok recently. Either people getting kicked out for no reason, this includes massive TikTokers with millions of followers, or the way that they get paid, the ad rates or affiliate links just drop down to virtually nothing. So they're still bringing in a whole bunch of views or sales, they're just not really getting any money for it. And at that point, if you're relying on that income, what are you supposed to do? Here's another example of somebody getting a ton of views and how much they actually made.
I had a video hit 50.4 million views on TikTok, and I'm going to tell you what I made on it. There are very few people that can probably say that they've had a video hit 50.4 million views. The video went super viral. We had everybody contacting us wanting to repost the video. We had ridiculousness emailing us. It was insane. And do y'all want to know what TikTok paid me for a video with $50.4 million views? $1,300. $1,300. I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but I'm just saying, y'all out here thinking, oh, the Resilient Jenkins, their videos are crazy with views. They must be getting mad amount of money. No, that's not how it works.
So that's why I know a lot of TikTokers try to switch over to YouTube and bring some of their audience. But it really depends on your type of content and if you could be interesting for more than 30 seconds like a TikTok. But yeah, 50 million views is pretty insane even in today's world. And $1,300 isn't nothing, but it's not something you could survive on. And virtually nobody's racking up 50 million views a day to make this somewhat sustainable. It just won't happen.
The Wall Street Journal.
And another thing is, man, these short form, these real TikTok, like the vertical videos make way less money if you do happen to get monetized than long form videos, right? Like, I think you're getting around like 7 to 10 cents for every 1,000 views for these like vertical type videos. And then once you know what I'm saying, make long form stuff like this, it's like way more, but it also depends on like what type of genre, like gaming, cooking, like everything makes a different amount. But yeah, the vertical aspect, bro, it's way harder to make like a living off of like these type of, you know what I'm saying, these type of videos, bro.
Just publish an
If that's your goal.
on how much influencers make, and it's not much. It's not all the glam, and the reasons that influencers aren't making as much as they used to is because heyday is really over. The days of when you could charge $50,000, $20,000 for one post and it would perform really well is over. The TikTok ban is looming and brands are getting tighter and people are just spending less. So what this means is that we as content creators need to get smarter in how we work with brands and how we promote ourselves and want to make money.
These looks he's doing are killing me, bro. Look at him.
Smarter in how we work with brands and how we promote ourselves and want to make money from this type of work.
Okay, so more stuff with the brand sponsorships, but something that I haven't talked about yet with any of the ad rates. Back a few months ago with the possible TikTok ban and just the overall economy right now. People are pretty unsure of what's going to happen in the future, and if there's some bad stories that come out on the news, the stock market isn't doing too well, the marketing companies that are paying for ads on YouTube, on TikTok, really any social media platform, pull back their money because they don't think they're going to get as good of a conversion rate if normal everyday people aren't sure about what's happening next. Right. So that's another variable you could add on top of this whole influencer social media thing. Another comment from one of you guys, there was an article in the NYC newspaper on how influencers are being rejected for apartment leases. Influencers' income are now unstable and cannot be used as income in NYC versus a paycheck guaranteed every month in another field. The younger influencers now have a main job that correlates with their channel if they're in a creative field, which is also something that might not be the best idea to do, but we'll get to that in a second. Because with the rise of some creators like this guy up on screen, Hub's Life, I know everybody's basically talked about this guy over the past month, but he ended up getting very popular because he was making a day in the life videos when he was a normal dude, just going to his everyday 9 to 5, nothing special. And a lot of people found that relatable and liked the content, so he gained a huge following. Now on the other side of that, he ended up quitting his 9 to 5 to pursue being an influencer and really tanked his whole channel because now he became unrelatable to everybody else. And the whole situation's pretty rough. He's begging for money on live streams. It's really not looking good. But people initially saw the amount of views he was getting. I mean, some of his clips have tens of millions of views. So they started doing content very similar with their jobs. But I would even say with all the examples that I've seen recently, it's even dangerous to make a day in the life videos while working a full-time job, trying to maybe kickstart your online career, because there are a lot of clips that I've seen like this.
This is a PSA to not post day in the life, get ready with me, come to work with me when you are really working. I don't care how much you blur it out, there's always going to be a slip up.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of I feel like workplaces, you know what I'm saying, in the contracts or whatever, it's like don't affiliate us with your social media, bro. So I mean people still do it, but you know, you pay the price, man. It's tough.
If you guys know, I post content on here, Instagram, LinkedIn all the time. I have just as many followers on my other platforms as I do on here. So all I do is post content, come work with me, things like that. But I posted a video on here that got me fired.
Right.
No, your job should never be content. I don't know what people aren't understanding. I'm seeing this on a daily basis at this point. Why do you keep posting this? Amazing people don't know when you're at work. I can't even lie. There's just a ton of examples.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's a very, very vulnerable moment for me because today, I lost my job for going live on TikTok. My live was just to show a day in the life as a manager. I went live while I was doing payroll. I went another live when I was doing scheduling. It's in a corner. And one of my staff members, I guess, screenshotted or something and went to my regional and was like, Mark's going live at work.
People love doing live streams while they're at work. We've seen this.
There's some whack coworkers out here, man. That's all I'm gonna say about that, though. But yeah, man. I mean, obviously, work with your YouTube, work with your TikTok. But yeah, man, when you start blending them, it's gonna be a problem.
A lot on some of my older videos, and this guy was supposed to be a manager and he ends up getting canned for it. More of the comments, but my question is, why do you keep going live at your job? Are we not adults? Why are jobs having to tell us this? If you were on the clock, you're held accountable. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to hear that, but you got to be mindful that they could let you go because you're on the clock. I also thought it was funny that at the time that I found this video, he was currently live streaming. Probably not the best video to have up if you're currently looking for another job, but we have another comment from one of you guys. As a teacher, the amount of kids who say they want to be a streamer or a YouTuber when they grow up makes me want to give up on them. I don't destroy their dreams to their face, but I just hope they figure out something practical before it's too late. It really is the new professional athlete or astronaut, any of those types of jobs. There are just so many people out there with a mindset like this.
I just quit my job to do content creation full time. How many followers do I have? 2,000 or so. How much money have I made off of TikTok? Here's why I did it though. I was a server and I was not happy. I was going into work every day, and of course there were other scenarios that played into the fact of making me quit, but I was like, you know what? This is my life and I can do whatever I want to do. If there are countless other creators over here, whoa, sorry, those are the cats. If there are countless other creators on here monetizing like crazy and making thousands and thousands of dollars off of TikTok, why can't I? Here's the other thing. I don't care how many times you have to hear this until it finally sinks in. But do what you want to do with your life.
Okay, so I get that. It's your life and you could choose whatever you want to do, but there seems to be no reason to do this other than she wants to make money online, being some sort of lifestyle influencer. It didn't sound like she wanted to go into a specific niche that she was interested in. She doesn't have enough followers to even be able to get into the creator fund yet, let alone all the issues that we saw with the fund earlier in this video. She hasn't made any money in the past doing something online, no experience. She wasn't some sort of social media manager at a previous company. She was a server, because then maybe you can make the argument that she knows how to grow a following. It just seems like, oh, I see other people making a bunch of money online, I want to as well. There's no backup plan either, even though she has bills, rent, and cats to take care of as well. I know I'm being very negative right now, but this just seems like a recipe for disaster.
Right.
I hope it works out because I don't want to see someone get evicted, but this was a video put up by her just a couple months ago. I just signed a lease on my very own apartment and I just got the job I wanted less than an hour ago. I don't have a boyfriend to tell, so I'm telling the 300 people on here. I don't know if that refers to her follower count at the time or just the amount of views that she gets on her normal TikToks, but within just a couple months she's now quitting that job, even though there's no active way of making money online for her, at least in her current situation on TikTok. It's just very confusing to me. All while I'm seeing people do the exact opposite, stop being an influencer, go back to normal 9-to-5s. I don't know. I think there needs to be a bit more planning behind this, but that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think
Great
in the
video
comments.
right here, man. But I really just wish he said, like, you know, you can just do it smart, bro. Like, you can work and do social media. I think that's all it boils down to, man. Nonetheless, bro, shout outs to Zach V2. As always, it's your boy TwoCentz. Say it with me. TCZ. We out.